You just know this one will end up as a crime show plot. WRAL News reports that an attempted burglar who lost his finger attempting to break into a home was arrested after investigators found his severed finger and used it to identify him. 67-year-old Vernon Forrest Wilson is accused of attempting the break-in in Burlington, North Carolina. 67. Just enjoy retirement, man. He allegedly tried to force his way inside of a home, and when the homeowner slammed the door on him, Wilson's gun fired, and a bullet grazed the homeowner's chest but didn't injure him. Wilson fled the scene, but then investigators found a glove with the severed finger inside. Wilson was charged with first-degree burglary, assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or inflict serious injury, and possession of a firearm by a prohibited felon. He's being held in county jail on a bond of $250,000. I'd like to know how the hell the finger got severed in the first place. Did it get in the way of the gun blast, or did the homeowner just really slam that door hard? Inquiring minds want to know.
Something tells me that some of these people are already waiting on that hill. As Russia's war on Ukraine continues, and with fears that Vladimir Putin could launch a nuclear bomb at any time, some spicy Ukrainian organizers are planning to go out with a bang. The Sun reports that a mass Ukrainian orgy is being organized on Telegram to take place on a hill outside Kiev in the event that Putin launches a nuclear bomb. More than 15,000 people have signed up for the sex party, with those attending being asked to decorate their hands with stripes to denote their interests. For example, people into anal sex will draw 3 stripes, while those into the oral variety are asked to display 4 stripes. Organizers claim the event is so popular that all the apartments with a view of the hill have for some reason disappeared from real estate rental sites. When an air raid siren was recently sounded, one member of the Telegram orgy group even posted excitedly, "Is it time?" with a smiley face, a comment that received just under 600 smiley face responses. Well, whatever takes their minds off their troubles, I guess.
They call this guy unlucky, but how many times did he use this to convince a girl that she could be the cure? The Daily Mail reports that a 27-year-old man had an allergic condition that made him suffer from flu-like symptoms whenever he ejaculated. The illness, thought to have started a decade earlier, meant he actively avoided having sex or even getting into a romantic relationship. Okay, so maybe the cure bit didn't happen. Although a bizarre condition, the man, whose ordeal was published in a medical journal, is not alone. So far, experts have uncovered nearly 60 cases of men with what has been labeled post-orgasmic illness syndrome, or POIS. Scientists think it's an allergic or autoimmune response to their own sperm, which is the cause of the men's suffering. The symptoms, including fever, coughing, sneezing, muscle weakness, and even issues with their speech, concentration, and memory, can last between 2 days and a week after orgasm. Fortunately, the Urology Case Reports medical journal reports that the syndrome can be successfully managed with a simple over-the-counter antihistamine. Well, I guess the good news is that this guy saved money on Kleenex and lotion?
An employee from the Netherlands who worked remotely for a US-based company was fired for refusing to leave his webcam on for the entire workday. The NL Times reports that the telemarketing worker was hired by the Dutch branch of the Florida-based software development company Chetu Inc. He was ordered to take part in a virtual training program called the Corrective Action Program, during which he was to remain logged in for the entire workday with screen sharing turned on and his webcam activated. He refused to do so, feeling it was an invasion of his privacy, and was subsequently fired for refusal to work and insubordination. The worker then filed a wrongful termination case against their ex-employer in Dutch court. Chetu Inc. argued in court that the webcam was no different than if the worker had been present in the office, being observed by management. But I guess that didn't fly with the court, since the worker was awarded almost 75,000 euros in the case. Less than a week after the plaintiff was fired, the Dutch branch of Chetu Inc. was deregistered from the Chamber of Commerce and shut down, records show. So many questions. Were they recording the workers on webcam? Was somebody on payroll whose job was to review all of that webcam footage? At least in this case, I guess we'll never know.
Here's a clear example of why Know Your News was created in the first place. The Sacramento Bee reports that a group of ATV riders trying to make it to casinos across the Arizona desert had to be rescued twice. First, 3 off-roaders never returned home from their ATV ride through the desert. The men were reported missing, and the sheriff's office got multiple phone calls about the group. It turns out the group was looking to get to casinos across the Colorado River, but didn't know how. They chose to drive several miles down a trail, past a sign that clearly indicated it was a dead end, and managed to get cliffed out by surrounding canyons with no food, water, or supplies. They called 911 and were eventually found, but had to leave their ATVs behind. The men were told to contact a local four-wheeling group to retrieve the ATVs. But nah, that'd be too easy, right? They decided to recover them on their own the next day in a Dodge truck. They shredded 2 tires, got lost again, and split up this time, which made it even worse. Out went another 911 call, a helicopter search, and a happy ending. Officials with the Mojave County Search and Rescue want to remind everyone to plan ahead and be prepared for their adventures. Unless, you see the lights of a casino across the river and decide on a whim to head out through the desert with no supplies so that you can lose all of your money. They clearly already lost their sense of direction, of sanity, so losing some money, not much of a stretch.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. I mean, hey, my cat's gotta eat.